So Ninja Survive, dude. So wait, so you've been working on this since CSUN?
Since CSUN, that's right. So the idea of Ninja Survive came to me. Do I have to say that part again? Or
Say it again for fun.
okay, cool.
Let's get it in people's ears. This is for the
All right.
YouTube clip.
All right. So I had the idea of Ninja Survive since the college days. So on my commute to and from CSUN, I would listen to a lot of 80s music. You know, that's one of my favorite genres. And one band in particular that I listened to the most was Europe. You know, their most famous song is The Final Countdown. And the Final Countdown album has so many hidden gems that people don't realize. That there's one song in particular that really stood out to me, and it's called Ninja. And I kept listening to that song over and over, and it just, in my mind, I'm like, this has to be the theme to a TV show, right? Like an intro theme to a TV show. And I Google searched it to death, trying to figure out like, oh, is this an actual thing? Is this? But no, I couldn't find anything. So that chorus, you know, when he says Ninja Survive, I'm like, I feel like I want to make something based around that title. And so fast forward to 2017 when I was working on a theatrical production in North Hollywood, and one of my castmates, Brandon Swofford.
We gotta give Brandon Swofford more shout outs.
Yes.
Not to mention my fuck up earlier, but we have to give the animators so much respect and so much. We gotta give them props. We gotta give them props. You have to. So please tell me more about Brandon. Continue.
Yeah. So I met Brandon backstage. He was like doodling, you know, sketching in his notebook, and I was impressed by it. So I came closer. I'm like, dude, your art is really awesome. Like, how long have you been doing this? And he's like, I've been doing it since I was a kid, you know, practically my whole life. And I'm like, well, I have this idea for a cartoon, but I don't know who to go to. And he's like, well, I'm studying animation in college right now. It's like the perfect thing. Just like the universe just like gave to me. I'm like, I needed this guy because I don't know how to animate or art, like draw and stuff. So but yeah, Brandon Swofford is an utter blessing in my life. And he is one half. That's why he's one of the co-creators. He's such an amazing, inspirational visionary with his art, and his art style is pretty awesome. So, yeah.
Dude. Can you speak on, I wish Brandon was here to speak on his animation style. Do you know from like just hanging out with him, you spending all this time creating Ninja Survive, do you know where his animation style like was inspired from? You said it was archaic. You mentioned that word to describe it. Do you know of any specific inspirations he pulls from?
I can't say that I know exactly, but one person during the Channel 101 festival that we submitted to recently, they commented saying it was like a combination of like Looney Tunes and another really old cartoon style. And I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't make that connection before. And you don't really see Looney Tunes style animation anymore. You know, it's very old school. It's very old school, excuse me. But like when I look at it more and more, I'm like, that is true. It kind of does like look like Looney Tunes, but a more modernized version of it. And so, yeah, so I can't really speak on behalf of Brandon, but I do wish he was here. He could tell us himself. So,
dude, next time we'll have him on here. Like as the show itself progresses, right? Like, so after this competition, are you hoping like shooting for the stars, being picked up, producing full episodes?
Well, actually, there's a ballot going out right now for the CHANNY Awards, and we're included in the nomination process. So if you would like, you know, I can give you the link. You can maybe put it in your description for the podcast.
Yes, sir.
We're number 10 and 11 on the ballot. So if you can please nominate us, Ninja Survive, on numbers 10 and 11. It's for failed pilot and best animation. Failed pilot because we didn't make the top 5 of this month. But if we did make 8th, so that's top 10, not too bad. Over 30 submissions and we got 8th place. So, yeah, if you can please nominate us, that would be awesome.
30 submissions. Is that just from California or is it from across the country?
I think it's America, like all of America. Yeah.
Wow, dude. So congratulations. A bunch of
Thank you.
animation teams across the country, 30 submissions, you're top 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's a victory right there, baby. That's a victory.
Yeah, thank you. And to be screened on the same stage as where Rick and Morty got their start is pretty awesome. Like I'm humbled by it. So
it gives you like that nice sense of that reminder that everyone started somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That you're starting here. Like, all right, I'm gonna remember this 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna remember my first screening of Ninja Survive. You gotta soak those moments in, man.
Heck
Pass
yeah.
by so fast. That's what college feels like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
College feels like a reality TV show we were in that we didn't realize was great until after we left. We were like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it?
It was a good time in college, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel,
sure.
it just passes by too fast. But let's get back to some Ninja Survive. So,
Sure.
what you said, the boy, the main character.
Mm-hmm.
What was the inspiration for the main character?
Myself, actually.
I was gonna ask, but I didn't want to assume. I don't want to assume.
Me growing up, I loved comics, video games, movies, just any form of entertainment. Like I wanted to get my hands on and I wanted to consume it. And so Simon is a representation of that as he's creating his own comic book. He's envisioning like all the amazing things that he's seen before. And so he's inspired by that and creating this comic book world of his own. Well, without realizing he's creating this world. But yeah, I would say I put a lot of myself into Simon and as well as Dion, the ninja character in the comic book as well. So, yeah.
All right. I want to keep asking questions, but I feel like I'm going to give away plot points.
No, it's fine. I'll like be vague about it if anything.
So Dion was the ninja character's name?
Yes.
And
Dion Amir is the ninja's character.
But
a ninja character. Mm-hmm.
But the ninja character is not the same. Is that the alter ego for the main character? Like in the comic book? Or is Amir is the ninja in the comic book created from the boy and they're both the same person? No.
Not necessarily.
I'm breaking my mind.
No.
I can't wait to read this. I'm breaking my mind.
Not necessarily. It's Simon creates the comic book world, and Dion happens to be his main character in the comic book. Yeah.
And does Simon base himself off Dion? Like, does he put himself, like what he thinks?
A little bit, yeah. I would like to think that because both Simon and Dion are Middle Eastern, so yeah, I guess you can say that he definitely was putting some of himself into Dion as I put myself into both characters.
Dig it. Okay. And then as far as when it comes to like comic books, you say you're a fan of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
What style of comic book or what genre, or if there's a specific like style, like story wise that you're going for, like Marvel or DC or any other comic reference, like did you pull from anything? Did anything inspire you when it came to like the style or like the nuances of the story?
I would say in terms of Dion's character, I wanted to humanize him a little bit, so I did pull from Spider-Man. Because the way Stan Lee created Spider-Man, he created this teenager who is very human in a sense, like he has a normal life, but he has struggles trying to balance his superhero life with his regular life, right? And so I kind of wanted to play off of that with Dion, because in the first episode, it's mostly him spending time with his family, as well as training, but like it's that balance that he's trying to go for, and it's kind of he's kind of stressed at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll see what I mean. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, Spider-Man was definitely an inspiration. But also like South Park, my favorite cartoon ever. I love over the top, edgy humor. Rick and Morty as well, but I think South Park more so because that I started with South Park. You know, growing up, I always watched South Park, and even around the time when the idea of Ninja Survive came to me, I think I was playing a video game called South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Great
and
game.
Great game, amazing game, and the fractured butthole after that was awesome too.
Great
And
sequel.
yeah, expanded upon that whole RPG, you know, turn-based RPG. But yeah, I that was I think mainly the humor element that inspired Ninja Survive, but the over-the-top action sequences, I would say maybe like Deadpool, Punisher. You know, I love Punisher. Punisher is one of my favorite comic book characters, I should say.
Mm.
But Deadpool for sure, because he's like, you know, he's over the top, action, comedy. He does everything. So, but yeah.
Dope, dude. Dope.
Mhm.
All right. Ninja Survive. I won't ask any more then. That'll be enough for now until like we can know more, and then we'll watch more and we'll talk more about it. So
Mhm.
let's segue off to some more video game movie stuff. Have you